I didn't realize what that meant until I met your dad and we started talking, and he started giving me nuggets as, being a dad, being a husband, being a priest, like being a protector, all those different things. And like I said, I never realized that, I didn't know that I was gonna meet another person that I would ever call him dad like that. Because, for me, my dad was my dad. I lost him early, but then to have another man that I met that I can call him dad was like, it was, even to this day, it's like your dad, your dad has a huge part in my heart. And just how, like I say, your dad helped me become part of me become who I am now. And I give him a lot of respect because he helped me and guided me in times where I needed a father to talk to about stuff, and that's what your dad did. So,
Yes.
See, try not to.
Yeah, that's why I was like.
This is the B-side, B-side, B-side of marriage. This is the B-side, B-side, B-side of marriage.
Hi, and welcome to the episode of the BSide of Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Rashonda, and this is my husband and co-host,
Jason.
And here at the B-side, we talk about everything related to marriage. The good, the bad, the real, the A, and the B-side. So if you are watching, we want to thank you for watching. Please be sure to become a subscriber. We would love to make sure that you are able to get all of our new content when it releases. And if you're listening on any of the audio platforms, please be sure to comment, rate, review, follow, because on there you got to follow, so that we're always, our new episodes are always in your feed, and it also helps for others to find us.
As well, follow us on Facebook at the BSide of Marriage and on Instagram at BSide of Marriage. All
right, let's get into it with our first segment, which is where we share our A and B side moment of the week.
So I'll say my A side moment for this week. As we've talked, I said that I'm not gonna let these kids just be on their electronics all day long. So literally, we had books that our oldest read. He had a whole slew of them from when he read. He was in third and then fourth grade. So last summer, my daughter started reading the third grade ones, and it was it was a little tough for her. That's like I say, it was a little tough. But so I implemented that. Okay, you need to for every 30 minutes you read, you get an hour on electronics. So at first she went back to start reading the third grade. I was like, I said, I need you to get the fourth grade ones. And she's like, but why? I was like, let's work on those. So, and then my youngest too, he this was new to him. So he was like, what? So he's like, can I read a graphic novel? I was like, okay, you can read that first, but then you still have to read that. He's like, okay. But the A side about it was that, they both, the comprehension was there. They was reading, I'd ask them a question about it and they can go, they knew exactly what page they was at and can pinpoint it was. So that was, for me that was good because honestly, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect them to be able to comprehend and know exactly where it was at.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the tricky part, the show evidence.
Yeah, so and
find evidence.
They knew, it was good though. And then my B-side this week, what was the B-side? I'm just saying outdoors not done. There you
go. Yes.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you?
It seems like a project that never ends.
It was a song that... I'm sorry.
So my A side, oh man, I had it while you were talking, and then it just, I got it. Sorry. Listen, you brought up the whole backyard, and then my mind went there, so I gotta bring it back. Okay. So my A side is that we have had back-to-back weeks of date nights.
Yes, that's true.
So, so that has been lovely, and being able to talk and all that has been good. Also, to just being able to have that consistency back, is good. And so yeah. So that was my A. My B is that I know before I was talking about like with the summer we try to take things slow, especially like with scheduling and stuff. Well, it doesn't really seem to be happening. So I guess my B side is really just feeling the need to like still have to do a lot of things. Like my to-do list is still lengthy, and I have this urgency. I feel like there's an urgency to like get things done, and then spending money like with the backyard, because like I feel like the longer it goes, the more money we're spending, even though I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Yeah.
So yeah, so those are my B side, kind of like feeling that even though making decisions, feel like I'm getting things done off the list, it's still like the list is ever growing.
Yeah.
So it's like, when does it stop? And so, yeah, I just feel like I'm about ready for a vacation, but I don't know how that goes. So anyways, that's the B-side.
Okay. And our second segment is a P2P share, where we share something we're reading, listening to, or watching. What you got?
Okay, so I'm going to go with one. Come on, I need to save the other one for another time. So not only do I like true crime kind of things, podcasts, I also love a good documentary, a docuseries, anything. I love that. So anyway, so I watched, it's called Movie Pass, Movie Crash. And it tells about the origin of Movie Pass. Oh. And did you know that it was started by two black men?
I didn't.
Exactly. So not only does it tell you about like, it talks about the story, but it also like tells you like why it failed and how capitalism and racism really like, you know, was this demise. So it's a really good film, documentary. It's on, anyway, y'all go find it. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be giving them. Anyways. But it's called, Movie Pass, Movie Crash, and it's really good. Look at the whole thing.
So my P2P share is, I've been wanting to pick up this book for a while, so I finally ordered it and picked it up. So, because again, I used to like reading a lot of like fantasy type books, sci-fi, and what is it? It's not like the Da Vinci Code. I can't think of the name, but anyway. So it's books like the Da Vinci Code, like because for me, when I read, I can really picture, where what's happening, like the people around. So for me, it's like I haven't really picked up a book and really, like a book of just a random story, not about scripture and stuff like that. So I picked it up and read it, and it was, I like it because I can picture a lot of stuff. It's called Nubia, and it's set in 2098 in New York City. So, and it's like I said, it's they have refugees that came over from Africa, and it's just, like it's very interesting, like, how now everybody is living up above the clouds. Like, so it's kind of, not say it's, I don't know, it's like Jetsons, but the way they talk about it is that,
like futuristic.
So like they have people that live above the clouds and then people that live below the clouds. So it's good so far. Like I said, it's just, again, I always enjoyed reading books, like just reading science fiction books, because I want to be able to picture those, like what's happening. Like I did that with the whole Harry Potter collection. Like I didn't watch the movie first. I actually read the books, and then when I watched the movie, I was like amazed of how much everything that I visualized was on TV, on the screen. So, But yeah, so yeah, if y'all into sci-fi stuff, like, check it out.
Okay.
So.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
Man, yeah, we're talking about Father's Day.
Yes.
So, guess where do I start?
I don't know. Where you want to start?
Ah, man. So I guess I don't know. I'm just trying to. So for me, Father's Day, I'm just growing up, I was just trying to think, how did I celebrate like Father's Day with my dad? Though my dad wasn't, like I didn't live with him and my mom, and he was around. I honestly, the crazy part is I don't recall what I did for Father's Day. Like I'm pretty sure I called, but I don't have any vivid memories of something I did because I don't know. I don't have any vivid memories of what. The only thing I can think of that just popped in my head is just going to the movies because that was just something we always did.
Okay.
Like,
so y'all would go on to the movies on Father's Day?
I don't, it just, that's the only thing I get, like, honestly, in my head that comes to memory right now. Okay. That's the only thing, but I don't recall. I don't recall.
So how do you feel about the holiday, Father's Day?
We've had this conversation before. So, I feel at times that Father's Day doesn't get the same oomph as Mother's Day does. Okay. And I'm not saying in our household. I'm saying generally, okay. Because what you do for me and what the kids do is, I enjoy that.
No, what I do.
Okay, yeah, that's what.
Thank you.
Because you make them. So yeah, what you do. So that, I appreciate that. I appreciate, the things that you do, and just the little things that, and it's not about buying me stuff. It's more just the little things that you do. So, and again, even, for me, even on Father's Day, I enjoy cooking. A lot of times you don't want me to cook, but sometimes I do. So, but, so that's, that for me, that's how I feel. I feel like out in the world, because it's like, because with Mother's Day, it's like, it's all over the TV. You go every store, like they have all this stuff, Mother's Day, Mother's Day, Mother's Day. I don't think I seen a Father's Day something commercial.
Well, I don't know about commercial.
Like I said, a Father's Day commercial. I haven't been to the store, so I can't say what the store looks like.
They have this little stands.
They
have a little stand.
You said the little stands.
They do. They have a little stand. Yeah. I mean, I will agree with you. I don't think, like I said, I don't think society does do Father's Day justice, which is interesting because they always say, like there's so many expectations when it comes to fathers and fatherhood and that role as a male and leading the way and whatever. So you would think that it would be recognized and acknowledged when someone is
that's a good point. Yeah,
walking in that role. Yeah, which is why for me it's always been important to celebrate fathers on Father's Day. Because I was blessed to have, a father in the home and a present father. And so it just came naturally that when we started our family, that I would just continue to celebrate both. Also, too, our kids were, babies. So they couldn't do anything. Yeah. So I took the reins more so. But now... and we talked about this on Mother's Day too, like it's more it's on them to put in the effort and we are there to support because you are a father to them. Correct. I'm a mother to them. Yeah. Not to my spouse. Correct. Not to my partner. Yeah. So therefore, it should be them who come up with the ideas and for the other parent to just support in the execution or whatever. So growing up, Father's Day was a thing we always acknowledge, and that's why
So let me ask you this then. So what memories do you have of Father's Day growing up?
I don't, church.
Oh, okay. I'm just
Like, I don't really know. So I think it was more like cards. Like we would give a gift, but it was like a card. We would, well, I would say, I can't say we. I would like make a card. We wouldn't always go to the store and buy a card.
Yeah.
So I like make a card. We acknowledge, for like any meals, we would basically serve him. Like try to have it where it's an easy day.
Gotcha.
Most of the time we were at church.
Yeah.
And after that, then like where you want to go eat, and then Happy Father's Day.
Gotcha.
I mean, I think it was more in the acknowledgement than like the celebration of it all.
Yeah.
I don't think it became a celebration type kind of activity kind of thing until you became a father.
okay.
Because honestly, I think also too, that was when because I had found my, craftiness in us doing our wedding. So then I'm like, oh, so now that I'm a mom and if I go all, and this is another thing, if I'm going all out for this kid, this baby, I have a baby for his first birthday, for Christmas and all this, and he's the baby, the least I can do is put a portion of that same energy for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, literally, there was no occasion that would come up where I didn't do too much, especially with Aiden. So that's why I was like, so it made sense to then, it's Father's Day. Let's put gift baskets together. Let's get all the fathers in the family together.
Yeah.
Let's start doing things to really make it a big thing. And so, I think that's where it started.
Okay. So let me ask you this then as well then. I guess when you ask me like what I want to do for Father's Day, and if I'd say something,
you always gonna say it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So I guess what
you notice I didn't ask this year.
I know you didn't.
I just
You didn't.
made plans.
Yeah, but like I guess what is like if it's like I don't know because I just try to think like I know when I've said it in the past it was more of like where the job I was at I just wanted to be home, be able to just chill.
Yes.
It wasn't. And I know that's what, because I just didn't want to be, I didn't want to be having to be at work and all this stuff.
Yes.
There was it my birthday? No, it was Father's Day.
It was a couple of Father's
Day
Days.
that y'all came down. Yeah, that's
where you had to work on actual Father's Day.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so then I had to bring the kids to you.
Yeah.
We've done that before. Depending on like when you had to work, we might celebrate you before or after.
Yeah.
Actually, no, either before or have to go.
Yeah.
So we've done that a couple of times. But so one thing which is very strange because you're a words of affirmation type person, you don't really know like how to be celebrated.
I don't.
And that goes for like
Birthdays.
Birthday too.
That's like
It's always a chore. Always a chore. So now I don't necessarily. I mean, typically I would ask, just generally, just to get some kind of idea.
Yeah.
Of maybe what you want to do, but usually no, we just kind of make it up.
Gotcha.
And just say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing on this day to celebrate you.
Do I ever be like, I don't want to do that? Like, have I ever? I don't recall ever doing that. That's why I was just like, I'm just thinking.
I don't think you have. I don't think you have. I think I've always pushed you to do to say something, to give me something.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So anything else?
Well, I want to get into like the meat of fatherhood a little bit.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And talk about what does it mean? What does fatherhood mean to you?
Wow. Yeah, that's something that Didn't really, honestly, I didn't realize what it was until I think we had Aiden.
Okay.
Like, I really, you know, like I said, I helped kind of raise my niece and nephew, but, you know, they're not like my kid, like physical my kids. But, so, when we had Aiden, yeah, pretty much it was, I honestly felt like it was that I still feel there's a huge responsibility that I have, being able to guide our family, guide, not say guide our relationship, but, us being able to be on the same path of, what we want to do for our family, for our kids, building, things, legacy stuff, when we're not here, and it's not about just right now, the present, but just being able to, grow for the future. And at the same time, being able to teach the kids those things that we never, I can't say was never taught, but be able to tell them, teach them about the things that we're learning now, about financial stuff, about, building for a legacy, life insurance, like all those things that we didn't know about until we got married. It was like, oh, we got to get life insurance. What does that mean? Like those, like we don't, like, so it's like, those are the things that, it's like, you know how I am. I want to say all these things to the kids, but it's going to go over their head.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do, so the hardest part, I guess, for me as a dad, as a father, is being able to give them, like, eat the elephant slow. Give them little pieces here and just let it marinate. Let them, okay, now I want another bite, and just start eating the elephant slow instead of just, trying to eat the whole thing at one time, in one sitting. So, and I guess that's the difficult part that I feel sometimes, because it's, again, we got three different kids. We got three totally different kids.
Yes,
and being able to speak into them the way they get it. And in the instance that they are right now, set up those things for them so they can be successful later on, but give them the nuggets that's going to continue to allow them to grow and be able to have the aha moments when they get older. But as well as, like I said, as well as just being a protector. Like, how I am. I protect these kids. I protect you. I protect this household. So, it's, not to say it's a, I don't know how to explain, but it's, I don't know. And I guess that's where I laugh too, because I guess that's where my dad comes in, because we used to call him Big Bear, because he was, just this big guy, Big Bear. So, like, he took care of his, his kids. He made sure that, ain't nobody gonna mess with y'all. Like, so it's like, so I kind of think of that too as, not saying I'm Big Bear, like, but that's, I see that in me, my dad and me sometimes. And then even just being a priest over the house, being a priest over the kids, like being able to, like just talk about, God with them, talk about the Bible, like helping them, guiding them through the questions that they have, and just, being able to pray with them. Like, that's something that we do daily. We pray with the kids. So it's just, it's something that, that I feel it's not a heavy, but it's something that, a responsibility that I have as a dad, to make sure that I can do this. And but sometimes it does get heavy, because it's like, I want to be I want to be the provider. I want to be the protector. I want to be the priest. I want to be all these things. And it's like, sometimes not say I don't have the mental fortitude for it.
Sometimes you just don't want to do it.
And then, I don't want to do it. And then on top of that, they be acting up, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. But then I hear, like, hear guys like, but I do the same thing for you. So,
yes.
Yeah. So I know that was a lot. So
no. So what has fatherhood taught you about yourself? And what have you learned about yourself from being a father?
Oh, you hit me with these hard questions. Nah. There's a lot of things that I thought I couldn't do, but I actually can do.
Okay. For instance?
I'm patience.
Okay.
Like, not to say I don't, I not to say I don't like to be around kids, because I love teaching kids. But the amount of patience that I have to have with our kids, like, not to, I laugh and joke. Like my mom used to say,
What?
remember she said it. She was like, everything you did, I did to her, I'm gonna get it back.
Come back.
I'm gonna come back 10 times. Oh, and it has. So it's like
it is. I'm gonna say not past tense.
It's 30 times. We got 3.
It is still coming.
So it's. I think for me, I think that was the one. That was the. I think one of the things I can't. That was one that just popped in my head. The patience, because, yeah, I have a lot of patience with teaching kids. I've always had that, but it takes a different patience with our kids, and even my how I react, it has to be different too.
Yes.
So it's like, as I'm talking, they're just coming in my head now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's my reaction too, because a lot of, I guess what I'm learning is a lot of how I react to them is how they react to each other and people outside.
Yes.
So I really have to check myself anytime I'm feeling like I'm going to react, and not, sometimes I do have to be like, I just got to walk away.
Yeah.
But, there are times, but, I'll come back and I'll explain, like, listen, how you came at me, that didn't receive it right. So I had to walk away, had to take a breath.
Yep.
Because, again, it's, we're all human.
Yes.
So we react sometimes, but but the thing is, what I had to learn was I had to go back and have these conversations, not just do it and not say anything, because then it's gonna be for them.
Yes.
They're gonna be like, oh, so they're gonna be so used to just running away anytime something happens, and not really understand. But that's what I saw my dad do. So it's like, yeah.
Well, and I think also too, it's because it's even in explaining the walk away, that's beneficial as well, because it's like, hey, right now I need to walk away. I think it's in explaining. The benefit is also there in explaining the walk away, right? Because one thing that we really try to demonstrate to our kids is that we are responsible for our own emotions. Correct. Right? It's our job to regulate our emotions, because we cannot control others or others' behaviors, words, whatever. So it's explaining, yes, mommy, daddy needs to walk away right now in order for me to regulate, because right now I want to react.
Yeah.
So that's also like, educating
it's
them.
Putting a seed. It's putting them in a seed, because they may
understand,
not.
Yes.
They may not get it right away.
Instead of like, oh, mommy and daddy are walking away from me. What did I do? Or it's really helping them to honestly, hopefully, prayerfully, be able to accept accountability for their actions and their responses, because they can tend to just react, and we're trying to lengthen that time between reacting versus responding. So but no, that's good that you're noticing that.
It's like I said, at first when you asked me the question, I was like, no clue. But as I started just yapping, all those things that I was recognizing those things. So,
well, I think one thing that I've noticed as in you as a father is that you always want the best for each kid, for each person, each loved one. You always want the best, and in doing that, you it's like you're always like giving the information, like you're always like, oh, here, you're helping to provide like context, when often they don't care, but I think that although they may appear that they don't care, I do feel as though they are accepting of it. They hear it because it will come up in conversations, in other times.
Yeah.
And then also too, you do a lot with them. Like you just physically do things and you're physically present. So I think that makes the bond stronger.
Gotcha.
Because I might not really remember like what Dad said, but I know he made me feel this way.
Yeah.
And so when I do come up against a situation where I don't remember exactly what he said, because of that relationship, I can still go to him and be like, okay, so Daddy, this is what, this is, I forgot, I know you told me. But how do I do this? Or
Gotcha.
this is what I need to do.
Okay.
And I think that is really, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
For them to still feel like no matter what, that they can still come to you to fix whatever. Because they stay breaking stuff. So fixing stuff or just, they can still come to you with whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's a very loving and powerful thing.
I appreciate it. You give me the flexibility to do that, though. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and
because again, like I said, I'm there, because I coach them, I do all this, but again, I say you give me the flexibility because that takes a lot of time you doing to coach with them. So
yes,
I could be doing something else at the house, but you, like I said, you give me the flexibility so I can be there, coach him and stuff like that. So, because as you was talking, as you said that, I was just thinking about this past season with soccer, how like they was distraught that this is my last season coaching them, the two littles.
Yes, that was so surprising.
That's what. Yeah.
I mean, you would have thought Jay said, "I am going and I'm going to start
leaving.
working on planet Mars."
Yep.
Not only am I not coaching you, you won't see me for years until I come back from Mars, because the way they reacted, and I was just like, "Oh, I did okay, all right." Everybody's just relax.
Yeah.
But it goes also to show like the way we parent our kids is a little different, where they don't do well with sudden transitions. So we have to provide more information. So I was like, we didn't tell you how this is really going to work. Like Daddy is not like not coaching you guys.
Yeah.
It's just not in this league.
Yeah.
So, but their response, that caught me off guard. I actually shedded a couple of tears, and I'm I know what was going on.
I did too, because I didn't expect it at all.
I didn't.
So.
They were heartbroken. And I was like, So, but I want you to also not just limit it to coaching.
No, I'm not.
Because it's more than that. It is literally why they will come to me to ask where you at. Like,
where Daddy at? Yeah.
They were like, Mommy, where's Daddy? I'm like, well, I don't know what I don't have. I don't have like a GPS on his actual body to be like, oh, Daddy is. Make a left, make a right. There he is. Like. Whatever, but it's like it is just the building of the Legos and all that, and that's why they have a passion for that. The movies, all of that. I think those it's the little moments that, although yes, they might not know about the life insurance and that they need to do this and whatever for us to build the generational wealth. But I think that is something that we can put down on paper.
Yeah.
That's a paper thing. It's the relationship stuff that is helping support like that generational healthy relationships. Beginning generational pattern and cycle of healthy relationships with parents and kids. Yeah. Because that is complex.
Yeah. So I just thought about something too. Like meeting, so I'll say this, and hopefully, not hopefully, but I just kind of thought about something. Yeah.
So, are you emotional?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
so,
here we go.
like, no, we're talking about Dad. So, like I said, prior prior to me meeting Shonda, again, my dad passed away when I was 20. So I didn't realize that I was going to have someone else that I can look to as a dad who's going to give me that guidance that I needed. You know, one, spiritual wise, because that was something that I didn't have growing. Not say I didn't have growing up. It was more of that. It wasn't a priority. I say it like that. You know, let me say it was a priority, but it wasn't in the sense of having to go to church, because this is something that both of my mom and dad said that I can speak to God before I go to bed. So that was something that I always did. But I wasn't a consistent going to church, reading the Bible, but I would always talk to God at night.
Okay.
All the time. So that's like, even when we met, I was like, I'm spiritual. I don't really go to church. So, and I didn't realize what that meant until I met your dad and we started talking, and he started giving me nuggets as, you know, being a dad, being a husband, being a priest, like being a protector, all those different things. And like I said, I never realized that, I didn't know that I was gonna meet another person that I would ever call him dad like that. Because, you know, for me, my dad was my dad. I lost him early, but then to have another man that I met that I can call him dad was like, it was, even to this day, it's like your dad, you know, your dad has a huge part in my heart. And just how, like I say, your dad helped me become part of me become who I am now. You know, and I give him a lot of respect because he helped me and guided me in times where I needed a father to talk to about stuff, and that's what your dad did. So, see, I try not to.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm like looking everywhere. There it goes.
So, sorry about that.
Yeah, he's okay, dude.
So I was just thinking about that. Like, a lot of what I do now, you know, with us, me and you, you know, with my kids, is a combination of what my dad do with me, with us, and then even the things that I learned from your dad for 8 years. I use it now. I bring it in to our, you know, things into our family. You know, just to, again, not I don't do it as where like I'm trying to make them proud. It's just these are the things that they kind of, my dad and your dad kind of instilled in me. And even though it's like, again, it was a short period of time that I knew your dad, it still was an impact in my life. So.
Yeah.
So.
I'm done with that.
Okay.
So, whatever you have to say.
Okay. I ain't got nothing else. I ain't got nothing else. You have anything?
I'm not gonna ask any questions because you're trying to make me like lose it.
I'm not. This again. It just came out. That's not. You know, because we're talking about Father's Day.
We are talking about fathers.
And that's, again, those two guys are, you know. No, I'm not saying they're on a pedestal, but they
definitely influential.
Yes, very much. That's the word.
So I get that.
So.
I get that.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
All right. Well, so what do you want to do for Father's Day?
I don't know. I don't know now. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to cook. That's what I want to do. You know that.
I can't.
You know that. I want to cook.
That's gonna.
I don't know it either.
And that's what's like. And it's not. He doesn't want to cook. He wants to grill. He wants to smoke. He wants to be outside on the grill.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's gonna happen. Like I said.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I can commit to, he does like to assemble things.
Oh yeah.
And that is definitely happening.
Lord. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that is definitely happening.
Yeah.
Putting together things.
Yes.
But even watching like our oldest helps out more so because he likes to work with his hands. So seeing you two like work on building things or putting together things. The other two, they come in and out. So, that part I can't promise you will have plenty of.
Oh, no, I already know that. Yeah, so. All right,
Yeah.
well, as always, we appreciate y'all listening. Go ahead and comment,
You sure about
subscribe.
the marriage events?
I ain't got one.
Well, I just want to say.
I ain't got one. You said wrap it up. I'm ready to wrap
Well,
it up.
yeah, I'm wrapping it up. But we got to wish everybody out there
yeah,
a happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's
whether
Day.
you are a father to biological kids or you are a father figure in a kid's life. That is important. Mentorship is important. The role of a male in a kid's life is just monumental. On behalf of all of the women, whether they give you your props or not, you are welcome. Whether you're showing up as a fully whole and healed person or you're still trying to figure it out, still be present, still be there. That's also like being real and honest, and that's what kids need to see. Sometimes it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't always have it together, and it's just being there. So, just anyways, want to thank you all for that, for your presence, for your words of wisdom, for your commitment, for your willingness to continue to grow. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Okay, now.
Like, follow, share, subscribe. I was like, what am I supposed to say?
We were struggling to land the plane, but
so
that's what happened when you try to get emotional.
I didn't mean to do it. It just happened.
Yeah, y'all, we have a very complicated relationship with Mother's Day and Father's Day.
It just happened.
So,
yeah.
The plan was to keep today light.
Yeah, but it just,
and it did not work.
So.
But,
so as, really, like, y'all really just, we talk about a lot of different things. Comment, y'all. Comment. Let us know if you agree. Tell us something about like what you remember about Father's Day.
Right. Shout out your dad,
Yeah,
or the person, the male figure in your life who you really want to honor and celebrate.
Yeah. I guess. Well, till next week.
All right. Because remember, the real work begins at I do.
Peace.